Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Let me adjust the audio settings a little bit. Alright, we're good to go. Right, so if you guys can hear me clearly, please let me know in the chat as well. Right, just got back and we're gonna start streaming hopefully all the way until the deadline. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, thank you guys for coming down. We are gonna start the Gameweek14 deadline stream. So a lot of things have happened over the past, I think, few hours. A lot of injury updates, news that's gonna affect our future planning, especially news to Ollie Watkins, news to Bowen, etc. There's no conclusive update on what the status is for both of them. So there is a potential leak. I'll show you guys in a little bit, but we will have to wait for the Watkins one because the Watkins leak is likely going to come from FPL Focal. So let's see. I'll show you guys the tweet in a little bit. But yeah, just gonna show you guys my team, and as you guys can see, wait, this is not adjusted. Well, right, it's better now. So as you guys can see, I've already made two changes. If you guys saw the team selection video, I was thinking about removing Son, Bowen, and also Archer. That would make me keep Watkins, right? I was thinking about selling Son and bringing in bringing in Gordon, bringing in Buemo, and also upgrading Archer to either of Darwin or Isak. But now that there was some news last night of Ollie Watkins being 50-50 for the game on Sunday, so I didn't have enough confidence. So the situation basically was last night I had two free transfers, there was gonna be some price rises, etc. So what I did was to make my two moves already, and what you see on the screen right now is my team as of the two transfers made. But I may take another -4. I may make one more transfer. I'll discuss that with you guys in a little bit. But basically what I've done is I've taken out Bowen and I've taken out Ollie Watkins. Both of them were flagged, and I brought in Buemo and Darwin Núñez. So I think it felt as if to me my moves were quite straightforward because I had quite a number of issues in both of them, and also my defense isn't ideal. So I'd rather settle all the flags, deal with the most immediate problems first, and then focus on maybe getting some defenders in the later game week. So I've kind of made my moves already, but I do imagine that quite a number of you guys will be asking whether to sell Watkins for Darwin Núñez, whether to sell Watkins for Isak. So now that if you guys have not made the move yet, I would advise to wait, because I'm gonna show you guys a tweet by FPL Focal. So basically, he has kind of said that he would get some leaks from an ITK for Aston Villa, and there's potential that we may get something from him. So let me just pull up the tweet for a little bit. I should have had this prepared, but right. So this is what FPL Focal said last night. So for me, it was last night at 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. FPL Focal said, "I'm pretty sure I'll know tomorrow if Watkins starts from a Villa ITK. So we'll share pre-deadline. They want to wait for the final training session. So who knows? Maybe the ITK already knows whether Watkins is going to start or not. So we'll see. I'll keep a lookout for this one. I'll let you guys know on stream as and when we get an update on whether Watkins start. I do imagine that it will have quite a big impact on a number of you guys. So let's see what happens there, right? But at least I thought I'd show you guys this so that all the questions about Watkins can wait until we potentially get the leak, right? At least closer to the deadline, because we are still 3 hours to the deadline. All right, so let's get to some of your questions and say hi to some of you guys as well. Thank you for coming early. Thank you. Nice to see some familiar faces in the chat as well. VJ is a member, Ruli as well. Thank you guys for coming early. Patrick says, "Hi Leon, this week I had enough of going without Salah, so I took a -8. Watkins, Son, Bowen, and Vardiol out for Darwin, Salah, Palmer, and Gabriel. Hope it pays off." Yeah, those seem like good moves. In fact, taking hits this week It's not necessarily the worst thing. I think there are a lot of people with problems in their teams. So what I would say in general is to basically deal with your immediate problems first. What I mean to say is, take for example for my team, I had the option of removing Son, but what I decided to do was to deal with the immediate problems, which was Bowen, and Watkins as well was a potential scare, right? So we don't really know right now. We'll know in a little bit. But for me, I wanted to deal with the problems immediately. So I do advise that can be the approach that you guys take, because the fixtures are going to come thick and fast. Basically, in this next week, there's going to be Gameweek 14 this weekend. Gameweek 15 deadline is a midweek next week. And then next weekend is Gameweek 16. So the game weeks are coming thick and fast. For those with Jared Bowen, because he's a doubt for Gameweek 14, I do imagine that he will be a doubt for the future game weeks as well, which are coming thick and fast. So I think you may as well just sell him right now, which is what I did. I brought Mbuemo in, right? So that's kind of the approach that I would recommend throughout today's stream, right? To deal with your issues, your immediate issues first before thinking about making luxury transfers. VJ says, hi all from Frosty Watford, UK. Nice to see you, Ruli, in the chat as well. Dawn says, this is my friend's team. What should that do? 1 free transfer, 1.9 in the bank. My team is Areola, Turner, Gehi, Taylor, Gehi, Romero, Cash, Gabriel. Defense looks fine. Bowen, I think, can be sold. Saka, Gordon, Salah, and Mbuemo. Yeah, Bowen, I think Bowen can be sold. Watkins, Haaland, and Mubama. So for Watkins, I think you hold on for a little bit. Let's see what FPL Focal has for us. Newcastle versus United score predictions. So I guess now is a good time for me to kind of discuss what third transfer I intend to make. I'm quite tempted to do a Dingra out for Anthony Gordon. I'm quite tempted to do that, and it kind of ties into what the NYGT is asking. Basically, Newcastle versus United score predictions. I actually fully expect Newcastle to run over Manchester United. I actually fully expect that, right? So because that's the case, I'm quite tempted to do a Dingra to Gordon. Let me know what you guys think. And just before we continue with more questions, let me put up a poll basically to have a feel and have a sensing about how many transfers you guys made this week, because I do imagine transfers this week was quite heavy, right? So let's see how many transfers did you make. Let's put roll the transfer. Let's put a 2 free transfers as well. Let's put a -4, -8 / -12. So let's see. Alright, let's see what you guys did for this week. I've put up a poll. It's loading for the moment. Not sure why it's lagging for a little bit. Let me just check. Oh, it's lagging. Right. I think I have to put the poll again. Give me a moment. How many transfers did you make? Rolls, that's 1 free transfer, 2 free transfers, -4, -8, -12. I know some people even took -16s as well. Alright, finally it's loading. So I've just loaded the poll. Let me know what you guys did. So what I've put there is basically either you roll your free transfer or you use it. Whether you made 2 free transfers, you took a -4 or -8 or more. I actually do imagine that hits were quite popular this week because of all the injuries. So let's see what the poll gives us. Right. Ethan says got a question to transfer Bowen to Saka and Watkins to Isak. Opinions. I can't get Darwin. If you can't get Darwin, then I think you get Isak. Yeah, if you can't get Watkins, if you can't get Darwin, I'll probably get Isak. Bowen to Saka, I think it's a straightforward enough move, provided you already have Mbeumo. I would actually prioritize Mbeumo ahead of Saka this week. FPL Man United says play Porro or Colwill. Others are Saliba, Tsimikas, and Kabore. So Saliba and Tsimikas definitely you start. I would play Colwill. I'll play Colwill ahead of Porro. Because Cucurella is suspended, so you probably see Colwill fill in at left back. So just touching on Colwill a little bit as well. I actually wanted to jump on Colwill come game week 15 or game week 16, but because we have not, he was fit last week, game week 13 he was fit, but yet he did not start and Cucurella started in his place. So I'm not so certain that he's first choice right now. I do imagine, if I were to kind of judge, I think Colwill is a better player than Cucurella, and most Chelsea fans want Colwill to be playing. So it's interesting to see that last week, when Colwill was fit to play, Pochettino still chose to start Cucurella. So that's interesting. So I'm kind of uncertain, and it's a little bit risky as to whether Colwill is first choice now. So I would kind of wait out a little bit more. And basically what I wanted to say is that in Game Week 14, Colwill starting may not necessarily mean that he is guaranteed to start every game because Cucurella is suspended. Right? So basically Colwill has to fill in there. Would you transfer in Isak or Gabriel Jesus? Because I already have 3 Liverpool. I have been trying to stay up to date with Watkins, but I want to sleep and won't be able to be there for the deadline. If you want to sleep, I just suggest you just make the move. Watkins to Isak. I wouldn't do Watkins to Gabriel Jesus. I just do Watkins to Isak. Probably just do that. Hit the like button. Thank you guys for coming. There's already 67 of you guys here, so thank you guys for tuning in. We're pretty early today. If you haven't liked already, please drop a like. And also, yeah, just a good time to talk a little bit about our charity drive. So basically, I've been running a charity drive since I think early November or late November. So basically, I'll be donating to charity for every new subscriber, and I'll be donating to UNICEF. More information can be found in the description, but basically, I do want to try and hit the target of £1,000 for charity. So if you guys can help me out, you're not subscribed yet already, all you have to do is just click the subscribe button and I will be donating more to charity. Right. K7 says, should I take a -4 to get Watkins out? 0 free transfer. So, right, this is again a question that I imagine would happen. And for this one, what I would say is we wait until there's some updates on Team League. So I think it's a good time for me to pin the list of leagues that I've made. So basically what I've done is I've collated a list of Twitter sources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it, my list of team leagues. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this comment that I just put out, and you guys can follow that list if you want. And basically I've just collated all a list of reliable sources, and basically what you'll be able to do is just go to that list and get any updates once any of those sources update us on whether Watkins is fit to play or not. So for Watkins, the one that we're gonna pay attention to is FPL Focal. Is Trent a good option for cash? Well, I still think Trent is a bit too expensive. I think defensively Liverpool just don't really justify that kind of price tag for now, at least. Still, their numbers are not extraordinary. So as compared to previous seasons where the defensive numbers were good, Trent's attacking threat was also good, he kind of justified the price tag. But I think now with the extra money, you can do so much more, whether it's in the midfield or the attack. John David says, I would have to transfer Watkins to afford Mbeumo. -4 is Adingra and Watkins for Mbeumo and Jackson a good move. I would take that -4, but I wouldn't bring Jackson in. Palmer or Gibbs White for Eze? Definitely Palmer. Definitely Palmer. Mark says, thoughts on bringing in Saka, Mbeumo and Mobama for Archer, Martinelli, Elliot Anderson and Watkins for -4. I would wait out for the Watkins news. I think for your case, I will wait out for the Watkins news. But Mbeumo will still be someone I'll prioritize. But if you don't have to sell Watkins, I wouldn't. Who to remove for Mbeumo in the midfield of Salah, Saka, Son, Gordon and Palmer? Wow. Salah is definitely a hold. Saka I think you keep as well. Son as well. Wow, that one is tough. I think you pick between Gordon and Palmer. You choose one that you want to take through for the next couple of game weeks, and the other I guess you can remove for Mbeumo. I would rank Mbeumo ahead of Gordon and Palmer. Yep. Is Kudos available? FPL says he's ill. Yeah, from what we have heard from David Moyes, which is not much, honestly. Kudos is he was ill for the game in Europe. So at least for now we don't really know like a concrete update. It seems like he's ill. I have 7 players flagged after 1 free transfer. Should I free hit? Do you have your wildcard? 7 players flagged. I'll be interested to know which are the 7 players. I'm stuck on who to pick, Gibbs, White or Palmer for Eze and Darwin to Watkins. You mean Watkins to Darwin? For Gibbs, White or Palmer for Eze, I prefer Palmer. Best replacement for Bowen if you already have Mbeumo. It would be one of Gordon or Palmer. Is Watkins fit to play? We're gonna see in a little bit. Good morning, make good FPL videos. Thank you very much, Mr. V. -4 for Palmer or play Archer. I'm not so sure -4 for Palmer is worth it, to be honest. I may just play Archer. Should I have Ben White in your starting 11? Definitely. If you have him, you put him in your starting 11. Any news on Watkins? Would you sell? So basically, I've sold already. I've sold Watkins. But I think it's good for me to just make sure I show the FPL Focal tweet. For those of you who just joined, there's about 176 of you guys here. So thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so basically, for those who haven't already seen it, FPL Focal will share something before the deadline from a Villa ITK. Right, so we'll know in a little bit. I'll update you guys. I've been looking out on Twitter as we're going along. So I'll update you guys, but basically we don't really know anything concrete on Watkins just as of yet. And in fact, he's just given an update. You guys can of course check out his deadline stream, but basically what he said is that there's nothing on Watkins yet. Tuning in is optional. We'll tweet, but of course do go over and check out his stream as well. But basically we don't really know yet, right? So I'll keep you guys updated as we go along. Taylor or Watkins? I would definitely start Watkins ahead of Taylor, dependent on the league. But I would still start Watkins ahead of Taylor. Watkins and Udogi out for Pinnock and Isak. For -4. I will wait for the Watkins league. I think in general for all the questions regarding Ollie Watkins, I would just wait for it. I mean, if we have additional information, I don't see why we need to make a decision prematurely. Mitoma or Ferguson? I wouldn't be going for Brighton assets now. I'm captaining in Buemo. Interesting. Wait, let's check on the poll for those of you guys who voted. So 128 votes. And 38% of you guys have already taken a -4. That is incredible. So I guess it gives a little bit of more confidence for those of you guys in the chat who are thinking about whether to take your -4s, your -8s. Hits this week are fine. In general, I would say, of course, depends who you are taking out, who you're bringing in. But I would say that most hits should be fine, especially if you're removing those injured players. But I would definitely recommend you to bring in nailed starters, right? Because the festive period is coming. We're going to see a lot of fixtures coming thick and fast. You're going to want as many nailed starters or players that will play the full game as much as possible. Already done Bowen to Mbuemo. Should I do cash to Saliba for a -4? So I don't mind doing a -4 as well, to be honest. I'm actually thinking about it. Cash to Saliba, I don't think I would do it myself. I'm thinking about Adingra to Palmer for -4. Cash to Saliba for a -4. I think there's an off chance that Matty Cash starts. There's an off chance that he starts. So I'm just not so confident I would do this -4, to be honest. There's so many people on Twitter, Aston Villa lineup predictors as well. They're all saying maybe Matty Cash will be benched, but I think there's an off chance that he starts. Their theory is that basically he's on 4 yellows. Their next game is against Man City. They probably want him for that. And then, games are coming thick and fast. He's been playing quite a number of games. So everything culminating together, they say he's probably going to be benched. So I don't know. I'm going to start him and just hope and pray that he starts. I probably am not going to take a -4 for that. Thank you very much, VJ, for the donation. Going to charity as well, so awesome. Thank you very much for the support there. For those of you guys who do want to support as well, we're trying to hit £100 for charity. So of course, for those of you guys who do super chat, all the money will go to charity. Right. Nunes or Isak to buy. I would prefer Isak. I would prefer Nunes. Right? I don't really. I would love to have Isak, but I rate Darwin ahead of Isak at least for the next 3 game weeks. Right, because it's incredible fixtures for Darwin Nunes over the next 3. It's Fulham at home, and then it's Sheffield United away, and then Crystal Palace away. So for my team, I think it's quite likely that I swap Darwin Nunes to Alexander Isak come game week 17 or 18. Right, if Manchester United continue to play the way they are playing, I may keep Darwin Núñez for this game week 17 game, but then after that, I think I may sell Darwin Núñez to Alexander Isak. So that's kind of in my plans as well. But for now, at least for game week 14, if I were to bring one in, I've brought Darwin Núñez in. I prefer Darwin Núñez over Alexander Isak. I've seen a lot of those questions in the chat. So Isak or Darwin, I prefer Darwin. Should I start Areola or Johnston? I would start. I mean, usually if it's close, like Areola and Johnston, I go to odds. I take a look at the clean sheet odds. Let me pull up the odds. So you can follow the odds if you want. So basically I post it on Instagram. So basically it's 38% for West Ham, 23% for Crystal Palace. So I would just start Areola instead. Crystal Palace's defense also just hasn't been superb as of yet. So I don't see a reason that they would keep a clean sheet, to be honest. Start Baldock or Colwill. Probably I'll probably start Colwill. Would you sell Diaby or Son to get Mbeumo? Maybe Diaby. Maybe I'll sell Diaby to get Mbeumo. Should I keep Kudus? FPL says he's ill and has a 75% chance of playing. I honestly think he would be fine. I mean, honestly, West Ham don't really have a lot of attacking options. He's already missed out midweek, so I think he will be fine. Should I play Lascelles at home against United or Taylor at home to Sheffield? Definitely Taylor. So actually, Charlie Taylor has an insane clean sheet percentage this week. It's 42% for Burnley to keep a clean sheet against Sheffield United. 42%. Right, so I think it's I usually favor the odds here, so I would just go with Charlie Taylor. Please subscribe, share, and like. So all the good stuff. If you haven't already, please do drop a like. Please subscribe as well. By the way, there's so many of you guys tuning in today. I am incredible. The turnout is great today. Thank you guys for coming down. If you haven't already, if you just discovered the channel, please do subscribe. It goes to a good cause as well, and of course, it'll help the channel out as well. Start Share or Cash, doing Bowen to Sterling, then Diaby to Palmer or Huang next week. I would start Cash ahead of Shah. Yep. Any news on Kudus? Not at the moment. Let me check the list, right, to make sure that we are keeping up with the latest information that we have. Alright. So nothing at the moment. I'll let you guys know the moment we have any leaks whatsoever. Thinking about using my wildcard in Game Week 19, vacate Mbeumo in Game Week 16, and Haaland and Alvarez in 17, and bring them back in Game Week 19 with my wildcard. What do you think? I think for those of you guys with a wildcard, the default strategy will probably be to dead end into Game Week 18, blank Game Week 18, and then wildcard in Game Week 19. So basically you sell your Mbuemos, you sell your Haalands, your Alvarez, and you buy them back in Game Week 19 on the wildcard. right? So basically, you're kind of free rolling into game week 18. So that's probably what I would do if I had a wild card still. I would just dead end into game week 16, dead end into game week 18, sorry, and wild card in game week 19. So I do like that plan. Yep. Start Johnson or Areola? I would start Areola. Went nuclear and did Son, Bowen, and Haaland to Mbeumo, Palmer, and Haaland. Well, you get Haaland back. Definitely someone you can captain. I've seen a couple of people on Twitter basically sell Son and get Haaland in. I actually don't mind it, to be honest. If I was in their position, I may very well do the same thing. Any update on Watkins? Not yet at the moment. Are you locked on the Haaland captain? I'm a Liverpool fan, so biased. Please just persuade me. So my thoughts is basically, all right. There's two narratives here. The first one is Haaland is gonna play Spurs. They're gonna probably have Emerson Royale at centre back, etc. And Spurs play such a high line, and Haaland is at home. Right, so that's one narrative, and that's the one I'm currently going with. For Salah, the narrative is firstly is Fulham at home. Secondly, Liverpool are scoring quite well. Like attackingly, they're doing quite well recently, and of course Salah has been super consistent. And of course Salah is on for his 200th goal this week in game week 14. So pick your narrative. I don't think it's very clear whether Salah should be the captain or Haaland. In fact, I think maybe you should do a poll. So I'll put up a poll once we end this one. But I think it's really, really close, right? Whether you go for Haaland or whether you go for Salah, I think you pick your narrative in this one. Thank you for subscribing. Akta Mala, I hope I pronounced that correctly. FPL Nook says my wildcard is Raya, Sanchez, Saliba, Porro, Simicas, Pinnock, Lascelles, Salah, Saka, Mbeumo, Gordon, Palmer, Haaland, Nunes, Isak. I love the Haaland, Nunes, Isak. I love that one. The midfield is fine as well. Gordon, Palmer, Mbeumo, Saka, Salah. I actually think this is quite close to what I would go with. The backline though, the keepers though, Raya and Sanchez, I don't think I would go for both. I think money later down the line would be quite useful, and I don't think there's a need for you to go for both Raya and Sanchez. So I pick one, and the other I would go for Areola, probably, just to save some money. You won't be using both of them anyways. Why don't start Livramento? Well, I think Livramento there's a chance he may be benched, right? Because he's been playing a lot of football recently, so I think there's a chance he'll be benched. So let's see. Allion have cash starting but no backup defender. Should I get Zini, Gabriel, or Simicas to play it safe? I'm starting cash. I understand your worries. I'm starting cash and I'm hoping that he plays. I'm hoping that Cash will play. It's kind of a hope and pray situation. Simicas has a good chance to play. I do think so. I mean, he was taken off at 80 minutes while Gomez played the whole game. I mean, there's no confirmation, but I think there's a good chance. Zero money after Watkins to Haaland, but I have Alvarez too. I would definitely do Watkins to Haaland. I would definitely do that. Right, I'm really, really behind in the chat today, so please bear with me for those of you guys. Thank you very much for all the interactions. I really, really appreciate that. Morris, Huang Hee-chan, or Colwill, who will you start? This one is a tough one. I don't think I'll start Huang. And So it's between Morris and Colwill. I probably go Colwill. Start Fernandez away or Trippier at home. This one is tough. I would go Trippier. But benching Fernandez just seems like a crime, to be honest. Is there anyone else you can bench? Dave says, sorry, I'm taking a -12. I hate my team. Right, so I think, so looking at the votes, close to 300 votes. And there's quite a number of people who took hits. 45% of you guys, so more, at least half of the 270 people have already taken hits. So I don't think hits are such a bad thing this week, as long as they fix your team for the next couple of game weeks. Let me just check on the leaks. Give me a moment. Alright, nothing yet. It's going to be massive though, that Watkins news. I mean, I've sold Watkins already. I don't really know what to hope for. I mean, I guess I hope that he doesn't start. Let's see. Do I play Watkins or Palmer? I mean, definitely Watkins. We'll get some leaks soon, I think, from FPL Focal. Should I take a -4 to get rid of Watkins for Nunes? I'll wait on that move. BJ says Gehi or Trippier. Definitely Trippier. Bench one of Bowen, Watkins, or Solanke. Probably Bowen. I think he's the one with the least chance to start, to be honest. Should I keep Cash or Udogi? I don't really like the look of Cash, to be honest. Like, I have him starting here, but I don't really like him. So if you're selling, I would sell Cash before I sell Udogi. What do you think of Luis Diaz? I think he's great. So Jota has an injury now, and basically Jota's position, I feel, was in competition with Luis Diaz. So now that Jota is out, I think there's a better chance of Luis Diaz starting. I think Jota being out helps Luis Diaz. Might take a punt and go on Bremo captain. All the best. I hope that works out though. It could very well pay off, right? Don't get me wrong. It could definitely pay off. What would your current goalkeeper pairing be now if on a wildcard? This is the part that's left for me to do. I would definitely have Raya, and then I will have Areola as the backup keeper. That would be my keeper pairing. Which one would you pick? Pedro, Morris, Semenyo, or Archer? Right, this one is tough. I mean, I think there's a good if you're referring to Pedro, João Pedro, I think there's a good chance João Pedro starts, to be honest, this weekend. My defense is currently Gehi, Cash, and Taylor. Lascelles benched. Worth doing Burn to Pinnock or to play him instead of Gehi for free? Yeah, I'll probably take the hit. I'll probably do Burn to Pinnock in your position. Yep, no spamming. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the moderators in the chat as well. Darwin or Isak for Watkins? Both have minutes risk because Gakpo played well in the European game, and Isak always gets subbed out of 60 because they have too many games with European football. So I would still prefer Darwin over Isak just for the next couple of games. Start Lascelles or Cash or Taylor. I will start Taylor ahead of all of these, to be honest. Start Taylor or Baldock, I'll start Taylor. Is starting Taylor a good option because it might be a scrappy game? I mean, it's 42% for Taylor to get a clean sheet, so. Who to start, Ferguson or Lascelles? I would start Ferguson. Are Bowen and Watkins playing? Great question. Great question, we don't know yet. Trippier, Dalot or Taylor, which one? I will start Trippier and I'll start Taylor, I'll bench Dalot. Start Archer against Burnley or Gahey against West Ham. I'll start Archer against Burnley. Couple of Villa accounts saying Cash isn't starting. Well, if that's the case, I may have to take a hit, right? But I do think like those are predictions. I mean, those that you're talking about, I feel like those are predictions. Let me just check if we get any news. Yeah, so there's no reliable news that Cash doesn't start yet. So I'm happy to just start him for now. Those are pretty much predictions. There's loads of predictions that went out I think yesterday after the press conferences that were saying that they think Matty Cash won't start. But I'm happy to just start him for now. Hope that he starts. I mean, even if he doesn't, I have Livramento first bench. I mean, we'll see. How long is Wilson injured for? Right, so I read a tweet yesterday on Callum Wilson. Basically, he's progressing well and he wants to come back as soon as possible. So I don't think a return is too far away for Callum Wilson, to be honest. So that's another thing about going for Darwin Núñez now, that I'll get more updates about Callum Wilson's injury status, and thereafter I can go for Alexander Isak. I can go Darwin to Isak later on if Callum Wilson is going to be out for quite a while. Play Taylor, Livramento, or Maguire. I will start Taylor. Is there a reason why nobody's talking about Jesus? I mean, he's just not someone I would go out and buy now, to be honest. Like I'm not sure if they'll manage his minutes. There's games coming thick and fast. I'm also not sure if maybe they just start Trossard or Nketiah in his position for one of those games, because the games are coming thick and fast. So I wouldn't say he's guaranteed to start every single game. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's their best I guess false nine or number 9. But during this period, I think it's hard to say. Best forward excluding Haaland and Núñez, I would say Alexander Isak. Thank you very much, VJ, for the donation. It will go to charity, of course. For those of you guys who have just joined, I will be doing a charity drive. It's above me here. All you have to do is subscribe and I will be donating to UNICEF. I think for those of you who have been following the channel for a while now, you would already know this is going on. So I hope I haven't been repeating it too much, but I just do want to try to hit the £100 target for UNICEF. Start Taylor or Tsimikas. Taylor's ceiling is 6 points. Tsimikas has attacking potential. I would definitely start Tsimikas ahead of Taylor. Maybe put Taylor first on the bench. Why are you starting Cash? So I'm starting Matty Cash. Basically, I've already taken... I've already made 2 free transfers. Right, so if I sell Medicash, it'll be for a hit. I'm not so sure if Medicash with Saliba is worth a hit. I'm kind of taking the chance that I'm taking a chance on him starting. Nothing on Twitter at the moment. I'll let you guys know as soon as we get some leaks. Start Ferguson over Watkins or leave Ferguson for sub? I think Watkins. You start Ferguson and you start Watkins and you put Ferguson for sub, because I don't think it's a case where Watkins would come on as a sub if he is not fit. I think it's a similar case last week with Jarrod Bowen, where I think if he's fit, he'll start the game. If he's not fit, I don't think he comes on as a sub. Is it criminal to go with Haaland? I think you should try to have a plan to bring him back. Latest Gameweek 16, latest. What are your views on benching Salah while he's away at AFCON? I would definitely sell him. I mean, there's too much money locked up in Salah that I would just sell him when he's away at AFCON. It also depends how long he's gone for. I mean, there's a chance that he's only gone for 1 to 2 game weeks, in which case maybe you can choose to keep him. Right? So I think it's hard to say for now definitely like what I would do. Closer to at least the AFCON or the Asian Cup, we will get more information basically. So I don't think I would lock in whether I'm gonna bench him or sell him. But at least for now, it seems like there's a lot of funds locked up in him, and if I have 2 free transfers, then maybe I sell him and leave at least a couple of maybe 2 to 3 million in the bank to bring Salah back in quickly after that. Take Watkins for -4 and put either Darwin or Isak. So that one is I'll wait for the leaks from FPL Focal. On Watkins, basically, for those of you who have just tuned in, I would wait for further leaks on Ollie Watkins before I decide to take a -4 or not. Best replacement for Bowen, already have Mbeumo. If you already have Mbeumo, I would go for Gordon or Palmer. Either one of them. Could Tomiyasu be a decent asset as he's 1 million less than Saliba? Right, so the thing with Tomiyasu is always he's not as nailed as Saliba, but he's definitely cheaper. So I guess for those of you guys who can't afford, I would actually go for Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko is a little bit more, at least a little bit safer than Tomiyasu. There's every chance that Ben White could come in. And if Ben White does come in, there's also a chance maybe Tomiyasu moves to the left and Zinchenko gets dropped. So, I mean, for the Arsenal defenders, it's basically a case of Saliba being the most nailed, and then the rest, everyone else, including Gabriel, is just a risk. Everyone else is just risky. Watkins out for Darwin or Bowen out for Mbeumo, or both for -8. So Bowen out for Mbeumo for a -4 is definitely something I would do. Watkins out for Darwin, I would wait. Yep. Just joined. Is it worth keeping Watkins or sub? If you're keeping Watkins, I wouldn't. If you're keeping Watkins, I would start him. Right? If you're keeping Watkins, I would start him. But whether you keep him or not, I think is dependent on any news we're gonna get. So let's see what comes in a bit. If I don't own Salah, should I still be thinking about getting, especially now his good fixtures are gone and AFCON closed? His good fixtures are not gone. If you don't own Salah, his good fixtures are definitely not gone. I mean, Fulham, Sheffield, and Crystal Palace. I mean, there's no way his fixtures are gone. In fact, I think he's a close captaincy shout, to be honest. Just give me a moment. Just checking all the different platforms. Right, if this is relevant for any one of you guys, Manchester United's flight to Newcastle has been cancelled and they're having travel by coach. I mean, I'll just put this up on stream. I mean, it doesn't have any impact whatsoever, but Manchester United's flight to Newcastle has been cancelled. They have to travel by coach. It's starting already, isn't it? It's starting already. I'm low on funds. Should I go for Souček or Palmer? I would go for Palmer. I'm thinking Adingra, Alvarez out for Mbeumo and João Pedro. Please help. I do like the Mbeumo pick, but for João Pedro, I'm not so hot on João Pedro. I may just downgrade all the way to Archer or something. Already did Bowen to Mbeumo free. Watkins for -4 to either Darwin or Isak. That one, again, we're going to wait. We're going to wait for... I should just pin that. Let me just... wait for Watkins leak. I should put the source as well. FPL Focal. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to pin it. So for everyone who just joined, wait for your Watkins leaks. Alright, wait for your Watkins leaks. Alright, so let me just end the poll. So many of you guys took a -4. So many. 35% of you guys. Alright, so I'm going to put up a captaincy poll now, just to see where everyone is at for captaincy. I imagine it's going to be split between Haaland and Salah. Haaland, Salah. I'm going to put a Mbeumo in there just for the fun of it. I think there are quite a number of people tempted by it. Other. Alright. So let me know who are your captains down in the poll. Interesting. So interesting. There's a decent number of you guys on Mbeumo, to be honest. Alright. The only sub I have on the bench is Cash. Is it worth taking a -4 to improve my defense just in case Watkins doesn't play? So again, I'm gonna wait for the Watkins leak for this one. Would you do Watkins and Alvarez to Darwin and Isak for a -4? Oh, this one is interesting. Watkins and Alvarez to Darwin and Isak. I mean, it's a perfect excuse to sell Alvarez, right? I mean, for those of you guys who have Alvarez, you're probably thinking of getting rid of him after the recent performances. Watkins and Alvarez to Darwin and Isak for a -4. I would be very tempted, to be honest. I'll be very tempted to do that. Should I play Bowen and Palmer for sub? So if you have Bowen and you don't intend to sell, what I would do is I would start Bowen, because I don't think that he comes on if he's injured. I think if he doesn't start, that's it. I don't think he comes on. So I would start him and then I would put Palmer for sub. Yep. 300 in the chat, only 70 likes. Is it only 70 likes? Could you guys, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, please drop a like on the stream. Thank you very much. Mbeumo or Saka to transfer in, I would prioritize Mbeumo. Thank you very much for the super chat. FPL is more than a hobby. FPL is definitely more than a hobby. Pick 3 out of Pau Torres, Gabriel, Tsimikas, Lascelles, and Taylor. I would go Tsimikas, Gabriel, and Pau Torres. I'll put Taylor first on the bench, Lascelles second on the bench. Taylor first on the bench, Lascelles second on the bench. So first 3 would be Pau, Gabriel, and Tsimikas. Calvin, another member in the chat, says, how does FPL Focal get the Watkins leak? I mean, he has a source. Basically, he claims to have a source. I don't think he will put it out if his source hasn't already confirmed that he's gonna let him know if Watkins is gonna start. So I'm pretty confident that Focal will come through. Is Alvarez to Solanke for my second forward a good move to free up money? I don't think I will go out to buy Solanke now, to be honest. In fact, I'm sure you have other transfers to prioritize, so that's probably what I would do. I'll probably prioritize other transfers. Bench Gabriel or Tsimikas? I would actually start both. If I had to bench though, then I would bench Tsimikas. I mean, if it's between the two, but I can't imagine you have too many good defenders that you have to bench either one of Gabriel or Tsimikas. Bench Cash or Taylor? Bench Cash, start Taylor. For this week, who's better, Palmer or Gordon? So I know there's quite a split, right, for the Palmer and Gordon discussion. I guess let me just share a little bit as to why I think I prefer Gordon ahead of Palmer. Firstly, as a Chelsea fan, I am still not 100% confident of Chelsea's attack. I mean, let me know what you guys think about this in the chat, but I'm not 100% confident of Chelsea's attack. Across the first, 13 game weeks, Newcastle's attack has definitely been better. And in general, I would just favor the team that scores more goals, the team that's doing better in attack. I do understand that when it comes to Palmer, there are penalties for him. There's, I guess, assist threat from him. But I don't think his open play goal threat is as strong as Palmer. So I think, as Gordon. So that's why I feel like I would prefer... that's why I think I prefer Gordon for now ahead of Palmer. But let me know what you guys think. I mean, I'm interested to see. What's the best replacement to Watkins, Nunes, or Jesus or so? So in terms of Watkins replacements, depending on whether we need Watkins replacements, what I would do is I would rank it in terms of Darwin Nunes first, followed by Alexander Isak, and then everyone else. Maybe a Jesus if you want, etc. Play Huang or Cash? I would start Cash ahead of Huang. I mean, Huang plays Arsenal. There's a good chance Arsenal keep a clean sheet there. Salah for Son? I think so. I think I would do that. I mean, I would definitely prioritize. Salah for me is just behind Haaland as the top asset in FPL right now. In fact, I think it's pretty close. It's Haaland and Salah as the top two. Son is the third. So if you don't have Salah, I would prioritize Salah ahead of Son. Would you do Bowen to Foden for a -4? I have Lascelles, Guehi, Mubama, bench. I'll do Bowen to Foden. I think that's a good differential. Foden is a good differential. But only if you already have Mbeumo. Why start Taylor over Cash? Not saying it's the wrong move. I'm just curious as the reasoning behind it. I thought I'd play Cash for one last week before he's out for me. Thoughts? So the reason why, if I had a choice, I mean I don't have a choice, so I have to start both. But the reason why I would start Taylor ahead of Cash is because there's quite a number of Aston Villa lineup predictions on Twitter that are saying that Cash will be benched for multiple reasons. And therefore, I would just, start Taylor ahead of Cash, take the clean sheet potential. Anyways, Matty Cash hasn't been very good in terms of attacking numbers. I mean, or at least what we expected from him when we all brought him in. I brought him in game week 8. I mean, he has been absolutely horrendous. His numbers haven't been super good as well. I have Tsimikas, Gabriel, Saliba, and Trippier, so need to choose. I would definitely start Trippier, Gabriel, and Saliba. Wow. That one's really tough though. If it comes down to Tsimikas and Gabriel, I would just diversify. I would go for Tsimikas just for the upside. Yeah, I'd go for Tsimikas, Saliba, and Trippier probably. Saka over Son. No, I wouldn't. 1-to-1 swap. I wouldn't sell Son for Saka. Son without Madison is no good. I don't think that's true though. I don't think that's true. Good day. Is it risky to start Watkins over my first bench option? No, I think it's a case with Watkins where if he's fit, he'll start. If he's not fit, I don't think he comes on off the bench. Matty Cash played right mid last game and it's very tempting for attacking returns versus Bournemouth. I'm starting him. I mean, fair enough. I hope he starts. I mean, I do hope he starts. Son had 3 disallowed goals last week. He's still getting the chances. Exactly, 100%. Thank you for the help, but look to move Bowen to Foden at the deadline. By the way, already have Mbeumo. Awesome. All good. Alright, let me just check if we have any news. Right, for my own team, I'm still lining up the transfer. I mean, I'm still not confirmed yet. I don't think I'll make a defensive transfer. So for me, it's whether I sell Adingra for Palmer or Gordon, of which I'm currently favoring Gordon. So Adingra to Gordon, I'm definitely tempted by it. Haaland is at 49% for the captaincy poll. Excuse me. Haaland is at 49% for the captaincy poll. Salah at 40%. Right, the Mbeumo differential captainers are at 7% now. If you're captaining someone else, if you picked other, I'd be interested to know who else are you captaining? Who else are you captaining if you're not captaining Haaland, Salah, or Mbeumo? Who are you captaining? I'll be interested to know. You think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet? I think he will. I think Arsenal will. Which one would you pick? Pedro, Morris, Semenyo, or Archer? I mean, I wouldn't go Morris or Semenyo. I guess it's between João Pedro and Archer for me. In which case, I just go for Archer, save the money. Roger says, we laughed and cringed at the thought of bringing Maguire, but he has 3 clean sheets in a row now and looking much improved. Do you think he's a good option long term? I think the fixtures have kind of gone for Manchester United though. I feel like the fixtures have gone for them. Ilanga captain for me. Interesting. Palmer is tempting. Darwin captain over Salah. All right. Darwin is decent. But I mean, when it comes down to Darwin versus Salah, I would just go for Salah, right? I mean, 90 minutes, penalties, etc. Doesn't get subbed off. I don't know. I do get the appeal for Darwin against a low block though, which I think Fulham may just go there and set up with a low block. I think Salah and Haaland will only get 50 minutes. I don't think so. United have horrendous fixtures coming up. The fixtures have kind of gone for Maguire, for United players. Newcastle are going to sweep them away today. I actually do think so. Alright, so for those of you guys waiting for the Watkins leaks, there's nothing yet. So let's see what happens. There's nothing from the ITKs at the moment. I guess Salah will top Nunes, but imagine if he scores in every situation that Salah provides him. So if Nunes was able to score in every single chance that Salah has given him, I'd easily say that he'd be the top scorer in the Premier League right now. Don't get me wrong, his finishing has definitely improved since last season. I think it's getting better. But yeah, I would probably just pick Salah captain over Nunes. Just a moment. All right. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Diaby's on my bench. So sick and tired of him only playing 45 minutes every game. Diaby out next week. I mean, if there's other issues that you have to fix, I don't think Darwin is a hard sell this week. I don't think Diaby is a hard sell this week. Hey team, what's the latest on Watkins? Nothing yet. We'll wait for leaks. Once we get the leaks, I'll be streaming for I think another 45 minutes, hopefully. Let's see. Another 45 minutes, but if we don't get anything by then, I'll update on all my on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. I'll retweet Focal's tweet as well. Alternatively, of course, you can just head over to FPL Focal stream. Once the leaks come out, hopefully I'll still be streaming and we can react to it. Right, so I think what's more pressing, I do have to decide whether I want to sell Adingra. Sell Adingra for Gordon. Right, so let me show you guys a little bit of future planning. Let me go over to the FPL.team planner. Right, so this is the FPL.team planner. I think most of you guys already know. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. So currently what I've done is I've sold Watkins, I've brought Darwin Nunes in, I've sold Bowen. and I have brought Buemo in. So currently it's looking like this. Livramento is first on the bench. Gehi is last on the bench. So currently my team looks like this. If I do a Dinger to Gordon, the reason why I like this is because I can make a defensive transfer next week. I mean, there's a chance I don't really need a defensive transfer. I'll show you guys next. So we're moving into Gameweek 15 now. Assuming I take the hit, I don't really need to make a defensive transfer. I mean, I have Tsimikas against Sheffield. Gehi has Bournemouth, and I can play Livramento against Everton. I mean, there's no certainty that they all start. There's no certainty that Tsimikas starts. There's no certainty Livramento starts. Gehi, I'm pretty confident. But if anything, if I've already made that Gordon move this week, I can make a defensive transfer. Right? I can take Medicash out. I have 5.3. It's not enough to get to Saliba. So maybe I go for Zinchenko. I'm not certain on this yet, but maybe I go for Zinchenko. And then I can start him ahead of, assuming we get leaks, let's say, of Tsimikas or Livramento not starting, etc. Maybe I can just start Zinchenko, and then all of a sudden the team looks alright. So then again, there's also, I mean, for me, it's dependent on whether I think Adingra will do well this week, because if I roll the transfer to next week and take the hit next week instead, of course, more information. So at least that's what I'm thinking for now. I mean, worst case scenario, maybe start Taylor, but I don't really want that as well. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards taking the hit, especially since they're playing at home now against Manchester United. So I'm really, really tempted. I mean, it's definitely a game that I see Newcastle scoring a lot. So I'm really, really tempted. I guess I'll probably make the move before I end the stream. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But I probably make the move before I end the stream. Doing Gordon to Eze and benching Pau Torres before last week's game was frustrating. Oh man, that one's a double whammy. It's like that sometimes though. FPL is just like that sometimes. I'm keeping Gordon all season, bro is on fire. I mean, he's doing very, very well this season. For sure. I only have one transfer. Would you sell Diaby to Mbeumo or cash to Saliba or Pinnock? Or do you do both and take a -4? I do both for a -4 actually. I do both for a -4. Yep. Great content, bro. Thank you very much. Keep Watkins or not, dependent on the league. Let's see. I feel like a lot of Watkins news has just been, or Watkins questions have just been wait for the news. But I mean, honestly speaking, I would just wait for it. But it's pretty certain we'll get it. Yep, so no news yet of Watkins, etc. So let's see. I'll let you guys know once we have the news. Gordon versus Everton. You know he's scoring against his old club. Benching headache, Flecken, Areola. Blah, 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 blah. Darwin and Haaland, you definitely start. Your midfield, Luis Diaz, Saka, Salah, and Mbeumo. I think you can start Alvarez ahead of Palmer. So that's for your 7 attackers. You start Areola. Oh no, my bad. You start Flecken. Ahead of Areola. And then it's between Gabriel, Saliba, Tsimikas, and Trippier. Oh, this is the same team. Yeah, I'll probably diversify then with yours. It sounds crazy, but I bench Gabriel for Tsimikas. You're playing Gehi over Archer? No, I'm not playing Gehi. In fact, I'll start Archer ahead of Gehi. With one free transfer, Cash to Saliba, Bowen to Gordon, or Watkins to Nunes. So again, with the Watkins one, I wait. Bowen, I would sell to Mbeumo, but if you already have Mbeumo, you have one free transfer. I think I would take Bowen out, to be honest. If you have one free transfer, I'll take Bowen out. Bowen to Gordon is what I do. I don't think I would do Cash to Saliba and then have Bowen sitting there. VJ says, please like, share, and subscribe. So for those of you guys who just tuned in, please do like, please do subscribe as well. It really, really helps the channel. 88 likes on the stream already. If you guys can help me get to 100 likes, I think that would be a record, to be honest. 100 likes on a stream. I've never hit that before, so please do like if you haven't already. Watkins spotted on the team bus. Let's see. Watkins on the team bus would probably explode Twitter. So I imagine that it will come out immediately once I refresh the page. It's lagging. Don't think so, to be honest. Alright, that one is not reliable. So I've just seen the Watkins is travelling with the Aston Villa squad to Bournemouth tweet. That one is not reliable. So for those of you who are waiting for the Watkins leak, wait out for a bit more. Just wait for FPL Focal. I'll let you guys know the moment I see anything. Why are people bringing Pinnock when they have a blank in game week 18? So couple of possible reasons. If they've already locked themselves into a free hit in game week 18 strategy, Pinnock makes sense. If they don't intend to bring in Man City or Brentford attackers aside from Haaland and Mbeumo, then Pinnock can be the third player that they bench come game week 18. So multiple reasons for that. And I don't mind him at all. I mean, Pinnock, for those of you guys who have enough space on the bench for him, I think it's fine. I've transferred Isak for Watkins considering future fixtures. I mean, that is fine, right? But for myself, I've gone for Darwin because I intend to do Darwin to Isak later on, maybe game week 17. But it's perfectly fine to go for Isak now as well. Why Captain Haaland over Salah? I've had it on Haaland for a while now. I mean, looking at the way Spurs have been defending, I just cannot see myself not captaining Haaland. We've hit 100 likes. Have we hit 100 likes? Oh, we've hit 100 likes. Wow. Thank you guys. That has to be a first, I think. That has to be a first. This may have to go up on the... I may have to do a post on this. Thank you very much. first time I've ever hit 100 likes on stream. What did you major in university? I guess you can guess. Make a guess. Make a guess. I'd be interested to see what kind of impression I give off. Let me know what you think I majored in university. Salah's record against Fulham is amazing though, and they're at home. I think there's a very good chance that both Haaland and Salah do well this week. It may not be a lot between both of them. Whoever likes and subs will for sure hit triple captain this season. You missed my question. Oh, sorry for that. You missed my question. Pick two of these three in a wildcard. Palmer, Gordon, and Huang. I mean, definitely Palmer and Gordon. Definitely Palmer and Gordon. Start Taylor or Lascelles, I'll start Taylor. Isak or Darwin, I prefer Darwin. If you bring in Pinnock, you're bringing in someone who has a blank week when you could save that transfer for someone who has... Yeah, but the thing is, their fixtures are good for now. So if you don't bring in Pinnock, you're dealing with a lot of the other situations that other people are dealing with right now, which is that defenders are hard to come by. Good fixtures for defenders are hard to come by now. So if you go for Pinnock, he's kind of a set and forget until the blank in 18. So I think there's reason for going for Pinnock. There's also reason to avoid it. It's just whichever way you decide to play it, basically. Congratulations for the 100. Your channel will grow. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Psychology, medicine, engineering, business administration. Well, I actually studied accountancy. I studied accountancy basically. So I kind of have a finance background. I'm currently working in finance. So just a fun fact. I'll probably do let me know what you guys think about it. For those of you guys still watching, I may do a Q&A, a subscriber, maybe a 6,000 or 7,000 subscriber Q&A soon once we hit the milestone. And yeah, maybe you guys can ask me more questions there, but I'd be keen to do one of those subscriber Q&As. I haven't done it just yet. Start Solanke or Douglas Luiz. I will start Solanke. What do you think about Watkins' replacements? I would, depending on whether you need to replace him first. Accountancy, are you inside the Big Four? No, I'm not doing accounting work. I'm not doing auditing. I'm not doing accounting work basically. But I did study it for university. Are you using accounting for better FPL planning? Well, I guess I'm just someone that prefers to plan ahead. I mean, I guess that's kind of the name of the game. But in general, whether it's in work or whether it's in even FPL, I just like to plan ahead, and I guess that kind of ties in nicely with doing or I guess playing the game a little bit more strategically, right? That I just like to look to the future and see what moves I can make now that will help me moving forward. So I guess that's just kind of the approach that I play FPL as well. Interesting. Russell says, I also major in accountancy. Awesome. Albert says, great idea. Maybe I should do it, yeah. Maybe a 6,000 or 7,000 subscriber Q&A. I'll think about it. Transfer Diaby out for Gordon this week or bank the free transfer and do it next week? I would bank the free transfer. I would bank it. Already took a -4. Is it fine to remove Watkins for Darwin for -8? Currently, I've Evan Wan-Bissaka first sub. So I will wait for the Watkins leak on this one. I have no idea how many times I've said I will wait for the Watkins leak on this one. I'm checking the leaks. Give me a moment. I'm checking the leaks right now. Hopefully we have something. I have half an hour more. Hopefully we hear something ASAP from FPL Focal. Thoughts on Jesus? I mean, he's a great player, right? But I just don't think he's safe as of yet with the fixture crunch. But yeah, he could be an option moving forward. He could be an option. I just wouldn't buy him this week. Is Darwin, Haaland, Isak on a Wildcard a good idea? I think yes. I did Watkins, Eze, Diaby to Darwin, Doku, and Bowen for -8. Good moves. I think Doku is an interesting pick. Right? I think Doku is definitely someone that can do well. But for myself, I think I'm not the kind that will go for Doku. I feel like I will go for Foden. If I was choosing a midfield City spot. My defense, Shah, Saliba, Tsimikas, Porro, and Kabori. Would you please choose 3 defenders? Saliba for sure. I would go for Saliba, Tsimikas, and Fabian Shah. I would put Pedro Porro first on the bench. 6K Q&A says Roger. Well, if we can get to 6K before January, where there's some downtime, because I think there's only 2 deadlines in January. If you can get to 6,000 subscribers before January, maybe I can do it during the long break, the AFCON and Asian Cup break. So let's see. But yeah, it's a good idea. Cash replacements next week. I do think like Pedro Porro will be interesting. He's someone that's on my mind. Chelsea defenders as well, but the problem with Chelsea defenders is I need to see a little bit more from them. I haven't decided yet. Faru says, I really think you're a chartered accountant and working in management consulting / advisory. So I actually did some management consulting internships. So it's not what I'm doing currently, but I have tried it out. I have Eze and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No free transfers left. Bench is Archer, Dallo, and Taylor. Should I take a hit? And for who? Eze and Calvert-Lewin, I think you definitely have to remove them. In fact, I would take a hit, even if you don't have free transfers. I would take a hit for them. So, yeah, I would take a hit. I'll sell Eze for either one of the Gordon, Palmer, all those good midfield options we've been discussing. Which big 4 would you recommend? Russell, reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter. I'll see how I can help you out with that. Watkins' latest update. Checking. Nothing yet. Unfortunately. I feel like because I've sold him, I don't really have a choice. But I know it's definitely important news if I hadn't sold him. So I'll keep a lookout for it for you guys, not to worry. Thanks for answering my question. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Doku or Foden? I prefer Foden. The UNICEF donation for which country goes? So basically, the reason why I chose UNICEF is because they're helping with all the humanitarian aid for all those countries that are having um, conflicts right now that require humanitarian aid. UNICEF is helping them, so I do want to try and contribute as much as possible. Right, so that's the reason why I've chosen UNICEF, and I'm really, really thankful for all the support that you guys have shown as well. Whether you're subscribing, whether you've super chatted and contributed to the donations, everything really, really helps. Right, so hopefully by Christmas we can get to the £100 target. So what I'll do is I'll donate to UNICEF, and then I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll post it up on either Instagram. I'll post it everywhere, basically on Instagram, on Twitter, and also on the community tab on YouTube as well, so you guys can check it out. Hopefully we hit the £100 target. Do you think I should get Darwin from Watkins for a -4? Is it worth it? I would say it's worth it if Watkins is not starting. So I can only say that after we get FPL Focus League, which there's about half an hour more before I end the stream, so I'm not so sure. Maybe we get it. Let's see. If we don't get it, do tune into his stream. Do tune into his stream, and you'll get the news there. I'll retweet and I'll share it everywhere that I can. I'm selling Chukwuemeka and adding Douglas Luiz, and I'm keeping Bowen. Do you think this is a good choice? I don't think so. I don't think you should bring in Douglas Luiz, and I also don't think you should keep Jarrod Bowen. Yeah. Watkins to Isak, Bowen to Mbeumo for a -4. Do you think it is worth it? I think the Bowen to Mbeumo move is definitely fine. Watkins to Isak, I'm not so sure. Watkins to Isak, I'm not so sure. Great haircut, thank you very much. I meant Darwin Núñez for a -4. Let me scroll back. Do you think I should get... Yeah, Darwin... Okay, yeah. Answered that. Do you plan to play Archer or Taylor in Gameweek 18? I plan to play both of them, actually. Again, thank you very much for the donation, VJ. Really, really appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing. The channel has been growing very, very steadily this season as well. So I really appreciate all the watching all my videos, commenting, subscribing, everything. I enjoy interacting with you guys everywhere we can. Right, so appreciate that. We've hit 111 likes on the stream, by the way. It's incredible. Captaincy defection will happen in the next hour from both sides. Salah guys to Haaland and Haaland guys to Salah. For sure. 100%. I imagine that will happen close to the deadline. But for myself, I think I'm just gonna stick with Haaland. I don't see myself shifting it too much. Thinking of getting Willian. I mean, Fulham's fixtures, if I'm not wrong, after Liverpool, I think they're not too bad, right? Yeah, they're not too bad. So I do see the appeal, but I don't think I would. He's not an FPL pick for me, I think. Don't think I would do that. I still have to decide whether I want to sell Adingra for Gordon or not. Would you guys do it though? Let me know what you think. I'm gonna put a poll. The captaincy poll is as expected. So I'm gonna end it. I want to see if you guys think I should do. Would you do Adingra to Gordon for a -4 in my position? Right, let me know what you guys would do. I'd be interested to hear some different opinions. There's 82 of you guys watching now. Let me know, would you take a -4? Best GK rotation with Areola. I would say either one of Sanchez or Raya is fine. In fact, I think I prefer Raya. I'm having double Arsenal defenders, Livramento, Lascelles, and Pinnock in a wildcard. Is it good? Livramento and Lascelles, I wouldn't have them on a wildcard. I wouldn't have these two defenders. GV says, I'm also handing it over to Haaland, no looking back. Yeah, I don't think I would change it, to be honest. Roger says, I have the same goalkeepers as you, sick of never getting clean sheets. What are your thoughts on keepers? So I'm going to sell Turner for either Raya or Sanchez. I just haven't fully decided it yet, but I'm going to sell Turner very soon. So it's interesting, 67% of you guys wouldn't do the -4. I'll think about it for a little bit. I mean, maybe I just play Adingra, pray that he does something. Right, so unfortunately, we are not getting any leaks. Just yet. We may end the stream even before that, to be honest. Why not have Lascelles? He's the best at 4.1. Well, the thing with Lascelles is that I think sooner rather than later, Botman is gonna come back. Right. I mean, it is true that he's the best at 4.1. Right. That is true. So I guess if you don't have a lot of money for defenders, he's not too bad. I just think in general he'll be a sell waiting to happen. If I was on a wild card, the defenders I would have would be Tsimikas, Gabriel, Saliba, Taylor, and one more. It could be Lascelles if you really want. It could be Lascelles, but if not, maybe a Brentford defender I don't mind as well. Or if you want to start planning for future game weeks, I've even started looking at Kyle Walker. I've looked at Kyle Walker for game week 16 onwards. If I'm alright to have Kyle Walker on the bench for game week 18. So the only thing with Kyle Walker that's kind of stopping me from getting him is that he blanks in game week 18. So if I'm able to navigate that, I think he could be someone that I go for. Right, and then Pedro Porro as well. Right, oh yeah. So Pedro Porro is another defender that I would have. So in which case, then maybe there's no space for Lascelles anymore, right? Saliba, Gabriel, Porro, Tsimikas, and Taylor. I think that's the defense I will go for. Next week, IMO as Adingra will get 2 points and Gordon needs to score 6 points. I mean, that's the thinking as well, right? Which is like making me think whether I should not make the move. Hope that Adingra does something, because already if I take a hit, Gordon needs to score 6 points to get it back. Getting Sanchez is better as there are many options for Chelsea defenders. We just need Colwill to be nailed. If we know which Chelsea defender is nailed, it will really, really help us so much. Start Cash or Taylor? Or start Taylor. Is it worth Bowen to Mbeumo and Watkins to Darwin for -4? Bowen to Mbeumo, yes. Watkins to Darwin, not yet. Not yet. Archer or Taylor? I prefer Taylor. Right, guys, I don't think we're gonna get any leaks before we end the stream. Let me just check. Which is very unfortunate. Hopefully we get something and I'll retweet it. If you guys aren't following already, you can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram. It's FPL_consult. But yeah, I think we may have to end it here. I don't think we'll get any leaks before I end the stream. So yeah, let's see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in. If I haven't answered your question, please do drop it in the chat before we end the stream. Alright, I'll wait for a little bit for the chats to come in, if any. Just checking if we get anything else before. Alright, so really there's nothing yet. So I think unfortunately we may have to end it here. And if you guys do want the leaks, I will share it on either Instagram or Twitter, right? Wherever you are watching. Great stream. Thank you very much. Are you doing another live stream for the midweek deadline? Yeah, definitely. Every deadline I'll be here. I mean, hopefully, right? But the plan is always to stream. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think I'll leave it as that, and I will update you guys on the Watkins League. Of course, you can head on over to FPL Focal stream, right? If you want the immediate news, but if not, I'll retweet and I'll also share it on Instagram. Right, so that's it for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys coming down. It's been a great turnout today, and we've actually hit a milestone today, 114 likes on the stream. We've never hit that before. So thank you very much, everyone, and all the best for Game Week 14. I will catch you guys in Game Week 15 content, but if not, all the best for Game Week 14, right? Hopefully the injuries and the flags and all will be cleared before you submit your Game Week 14 team, right? But that's it. I'm going to leave it as that, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.